seeking authority to declare La Crosse County a premier resort area, to levy a 0.5% sales tax to pay for transportation infrastructure. Now therefore be it resolved that the La Crosse County Board hereby authorizes up to $20,000 for public information regarding the referendum question for expenditures approved by the County Board Chair for mailings, brochures, and other means to enhance public information about the issues addressed in the referendum. Fiscal note, the need for public information is not included in the 2017 budget, thereby necessitating a transfer of $20,000 from account 100.155.148.60700.04 General Fund Contingency to County Board account 100.100.100-609-607-95.01 Public Information. This passed the Executive Committee unanimously today, and I move for its approval.
Supervisor Hanson moves approval of the resolution, seconded by Supervisor Scheller. Again, noting this is an unbudgeted item, so this will require 2/3 of the full board. Discussion on this item. Supervisor Papp.
Thank you. It's not the question of the 20,000. I was wondering the way it reads on the ballot. It does not say that it will be used exclusively for roads. And I have just had a few people mention to me that once this goes through, it's not very liable to ever come off. And can that fund be graded, bad word maybe, but be taken away and not used for roads? Because the intention is for county roads, and should it be listed a little bit better on the ballot itself, so people are assured that that's where it will stay indefinitely?
We are unable to change the wording of the referendum question at this point. If that's what we voted on in January, and we are bound by the wording that we approved in January to meet the deadline from the clerk on getting it placed on the ballot.
And that was...
You
That
were
was
probably
never
wrong.
brought
If
into
you had
the
been
issue.
here, we would have gotten it right.
That's unfortunate. No.
But we can't change the wording. There's no way to change the wording of a referendum question.
Okay, we can't change the wording. That's unfortunate. I can't. Sorry.
So discussion on the resolution. Supervisor Hanson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We are planning on having at least 2 and probably 3 public information sessions. And we'll go through every aspect of this endeavor. And it will be made clear at the very beginning that this is for road improvement. So, maybe there's some wording here that could have been more clear, but it is strictly for road improvement. Thank you.
Other discussion on the item. Supervisor Friedland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As I said at Executive Committee, I do support this, even though I didn't support the placing of the matter on the ballot, with the opportunity that we had to vote on that. I do think that having a very informed and factual decision on this matter is important, rather than misinformation as to why we need it and what it is and what it applies to. I believe that as we educate and as we explain and have people learn more about the roads in the county, that the pros as well as the cons of this will come out. This will be an educational endeavor. It is not for us to advocate for it, but to educate. And I believe, as Supervisor Hanson just said, that as we educate regarding road needs, that the public will become more informed some of the information that I've learned really just since this has come up as I've paid more attention to some of these matters, that impresses me about the importance of maintaining our roads is information such as that access to transportation is considered the number one, sometimes the number two, flipping with a solid workforce. Access to transportation is the priority in the state for new business development. And we have to keep our roads in good condition. Also, that Wisconsin has the second most auto-dependent environment in the country after Indiana. So I think that this is an excellent opportunity for people in the urban area to know more about the rural roads, and for us to inform and to bring the public up to better speed as to how much it costs and what we need to do to keep up, so that we aren't the 32nd in the country, in the 32nd percentage of roads in good condition, with a national average of 63% in the country, and the states around us in the 60 to 70% range. I also learned that at WCA 2 weeks ago. Thank you.
Supervisor Burke.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was my understanding of reading the statute that it had to be used for infrastructure. Is that not true? Am I misinterpreting something?
Yeah, no, it does have to be used for infrastructure, but I think that's a little bit broader than just roads.
I mean,
If the question was.
we're talking of bridges or,
Yeah, bridges, but can also be used for emergency medical services, police services, things like that. But that's included in the definition of infrastructure in the statute.
all right, thank you.
Supervisor Doyle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A couple of responses to Supervisor Taft with regard to your concern. Number one, I would emphasize that this is the first of two referendums that people would have a chance to vote on, assuming that the first one would be successful. So it could be dealt with in between. Secondly, though, if you really want to make sure that it's perfectly clear that this is only to be used for roads and or bridges, month of March, you could certainly bring in a resolution that this board could pass in March before the referendum to say exactly that. So then there wouldn't be any doubt whatsoever. So that'd be an option.
Other discussion on the resolution. Supervisor Gunderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to reiterate that in this literature and in this process that we make sure it's crystal clear to the constituents that just because they vote yes doesn't mean this will automatically happen. I think that it's a little ambiguous when it does say the Crosse County does not meet the requirements, but then it goes forth to say, but we're going to ask anyway, we're going to say pretty please, and suddenly magically we'll get our second dessert. But I'm not sure that it looks good for us to do business this way. That why are we putting this to the public, and make sure that the public knows that just because we vote yes on a referendum like this doesn't mean we're going to get it from the legislature. So I really stress this as it's important to me and to constituents. I think will be upset if they vote yes for something like this and then we can't have it. I just wanted to make sure in the literature that we print that we somehow get this point across crystal clear. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Other discussion on the resolution. Supervisor Weirs.
This might go without saying, but I think that Supervisor Taft and Supervisor Gunderson's questions that they brought up are exactly why it's important to have this funding to educate the public, because there are a lot of things that need to be put out there in a strategic way. So, thank you.
Other discussion on the resolution. Seeing none, all those in favor of its approval, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
No.
One no noted. Supervisor Gunderson. That is 22 is 2/3. So that resolution is approved. On to future agenda items. That's it for you, right, Supervisor Gunderson? On to future agenda items.